looking for Noah. Noah. Shout out to Noah. You guys, what's going on? Nobody's watching yet. I'm going to wait a second to see if he pops on here because, so if you guys are brand new to the channel, we have a membership. It's like just members only, baby. But what it is if you want like kind of one-on-one Q&A with me, or if you want mentorship or anything like that, or you want to talk about Facebook ads, investing, whatever it is you're into, if you're a member, I will make a dedicated video for your comments. So Noah, or I'll do a live. So I'll hop on and see if I can capture you. I was looking for Noah. Where's Noah at? But what I'm getting at is, if Noah pops on here, yo, Noah's here. What's up, dude? I didn't think you were going to be on here. So I was explaining on the live. I'll post this live if you're okay with it. It's up to you. I don't have to post it if you don't want me to. But I was just explaining that if you're a member, I'll do these lives where, okay, cool, I'll post it. So I'll do these lives where basically if you have a question or you leave a comment, I'll do a live and we could do like a Q&A. So it's basically like one-on-one, you know? So if you guys want this, if you want something like that, sign up and join, because I saw Noah was a member yesterday when I saw you rejoined, dude. Appreciate it. But no, so I wanted to answer some of your questions. I might not have all the, first I'm going to tell you that I'm not like an authority on any of these subjects. I just personally have dabbled in a lot of these things. So I might have one little tiny seed that can propel you. You know what I mean? So one little gem, or maybe not, but we'll see. But no, so ask me your question again here on the live. So your first, just one question at a time, because right now I'm driving, so I'm still looking at the comments while I'm driving, but I'm about to stop. What's up, Kyle Miller? But because I'm answering questions for Noah on this live, I'm probably not going to interact too much with the other comments. Didn't want you guys to think I'm ignoring you. But let me know what your first question you had was, that you wanted to know. Your first question, I remember, I think it was that you wanted to run Facebook ads to your Etsy, but you don't feel like you can because you, oh, okay. Should I double down on just a few proven best-selling designs or keep pushing out tons of new ones to diversify? I sell personalized labels and stamps. The first thing I think that's smart is that if you have there's two things. If you have proven designs, you know they sell, you know they do well. So if you're gonna run Facebook ads, we'll get to that about how you can track without a pixel. If you're gonna run Facebook ads to your Etsy or Amazon, it's best to do it with the proven designs, the ones that you know have sold before. I don't know your current situation and your resources, how much money you have, but if you have the ability to diversify and add lots of items, so first I would start with those best-selling proven items. Those should be your hero product. So when you run the ad, you should make a bunch of ads. You can use ChatGPT, I'll explain all this to you. But you should make a bunch of creatives around the hero products, around the ones that you know sell. Now, picture it like your main course, like when it's Thanksgiving dinner, the main thing's the turkey. You know what I mean? But certain people love freaking mashed potatoes and cranberry. Some people hate it. You know, all the other little things, all the sides. So your other products, like how are you going to fill the person up? If they might start, they're going to eat the turkey. But if you want to fill them up, basically fill them up is my analogy for lifetime value. If you want them to come back and purchase from you again, and you might think to yourself, man, I'm on Etsy and Amazon. How can I re-talk to them? Because I don't have the ability to capture customer information, like re-email them and things. I don't know. I don't think Etsy and Amazon has the ability to retarget within the platform. But what you can do is, we'll get to this. You can do this through Facebook ads. So adding all those other items can make it to where you can diversify. And what you can do is you can build out a bigger store that has a lot of other side items that fills the person up over time and increases the lifetime value, especially if they really like the product in the beginning. Then they're going to come back to you. Like, for example, we're having a baby shower and I'm getting like all this stuff for the baby shower, and I was buying tons of it on Etsy, to be honest, like balloons and all kinds of stuff. And when I got the one woman, she was like so helpful because I had to change the color of the balloons and everything. And then I went to her shop and she had like tons of stuff. And I was like, oh, dude, I'm going to buy the baby box, the boxes that say baby on it. I'm going to buy the freaking this on it. Do you get what I'm saying? So it is good to have a lot of items, but don't spread yourself too thin to where you're so much overhead and so like you spend so much on cost of goods that you're like burdened and you can't market the ones that you know sell. Cool. So what was the other question you had too? Hopefully, let me know if I'm not answering these in a good way too, because you might be like, dude, you're not answering my questions, or I'm not getting the gist. Sorry, I dropped my key. Hold on. Also curious about product images. Would you recommend sticking to clean graphic mock-ups, or is it worth investing in a studio for custom product photography? Okay, so I think studio is overkill. So I have a video uploading right now. I'm not saying it's overkill, but don't go spending all your money on some crazy setup. The reason is, I'll explain it to you, is that right now we're going through this massive transformation with creatives. Like, I think people's jobs are going to be disrupted in the creative industry way beyond than they even imagine, like graphic designers. So right now, with tools like Pixel Cut or ChatGPT 4.0, if you haven't tried it yet, try it for fun. Okay, if you have a basic, I would say that with stamps and things like that, I think like layouts and nice product photography with some types of different backgrounds and things that captivate people and make them stop the scroll, I think it's good. Just a white background with just a plain item, you can have that photo in there, so they can see the item clearly. But I think that striking emotion and feeling through having the product on some type of background does well. Like, my best ads is the product on a certain type of background. Like, actually sometimes I use sand, but I got the coffee in the M mug. I used to have an X5M and an M5. So what I'm saying is, oh look, you got a product photographer right here taking photos. So just for fun, okay, pay the $20. Get ChatGPT if you haven't tried this yet. I'm just reading the comments. I'll answer. Sorry, I don't want you guys to think I'm ignoring you because I'm answering his comments right now. I just doing this live for Noah, kind of a Q&A, because he's a member. If you guys don't know about the membership, sign up. You can do Q&As and stuff. Oh, they got wedding photography. Already paid for ChatGPT, so all good there. So helpful. Okay, so Noah, go to ChatGPT 4.0. Okay, 'cause you can do it in 4.0 mini too, but just do 4.0. And take your background, your white background photo. Do you have one of those white background photos? I don't know if it takes a while for the comments, but I have a ton of photos. Okay, perfect. Yeah, dude, just for fun, try this before you go spending money on a studio. And Pixel Cut does this too, but 4.0 does a good job, but sometimes it will change your product. It's really annoying. It's annoying, but it won't change your product as much on Pixel Cut. So take your product, try it on 4.0 if you've already paid for ChatGPT. Upload the product and tell it, like let's say, for example, you have like a stamp that has like a 60s retro vibe or something. Say like, put this stamp on a solid like yellow and light red and orange wavy background that looks like the 1960s. Do you get what I'm saying? And it'll put it on something like that. You can get as creative as you can think. You can put words on it. You could put details about the product, like highest quality vinyl. Like, you could put it on the background. So you could save a lot of time, where before, like, let's say instead of just having a white background on Etsy with just your stamp, you could like have all the details and all the features of the stamp on the background written by ChatGPT in like 5 minutes. Like, not even 5 minutes. Like, I'll open like 4 or 5 search feeds at one time. I'll have like 4 or 5 of them going at one time. And I'll just be creating tons of freaking, I do it for Instagram stories. I do it with everything. So I don't know if that's helpful, but the second thing I'd say is that with a cell phone, like a good cell phone and really good lighting, and I used to use like a white foam board, or you might already have something. Like, you can buy those cheap like white dome type things off Amazon. I don't know if that's what you mean when you say studio setup, but back in the day, all I had was like a DSL, a cheap Nikon. I actually mentioned all this in the video that's uploading right now. It's kind of funny that you asked this question, because I was just talking about it. I had a cheap Nikon DSLR and like just 2 white foam pieces, and it was not white enough. So I would photograph the product, and then I would just turn the brightness up, and it would wash out the product, and I'd have to turn the saturation up. But you could try that and see. So I already paid for chat. I've used Sona for photos a few weeks ago. It's 400 and photos looked fantastic. Oh wow, I've never looked that up. Are they like, do you send your product to them and they do the photos? That's the other thing I was going to say, is that there's companies now where you can send your product and they'll do all the product photos for you, and sometimes that can be cost effective. Yep, that's exactly what it is. So the setup I have, if you guys are wondering, I have one of my best friends, Landis. He actually does Etsy. He sells like a digital product on Etsy, but we grew up like skateboarding together. We were best friends, and he actually works for us. So he's a 1099 employee, and Oh, they send the files live as well, and you can talk with them. That's awesome. Yeah. See, something like that could be worth it. It depends on, like for me, we have constantly reoccurring products because our products are handmade, and sometimes the colors vary slightly from the original item that we had. So we're constantly retaking photos. So we have a system in our office where the products come in, they just bag it up, send it to Landis. Landis has the setup at his house. He photographs everything for me. At the end of the year, he's so cool, dude. At the end of the year, he just sends me like the amount. I just send him $10.99 and boom, we're done. I just say track your hours. I pay him like $20 some an hour. He just kind of just does it to help me out because we're buddies. But I've had that set up for years with him. Shout out to Landis. But he does, maybe he'll do product photos for you too. But no, the ones we do are just on white backgrounds. But I've been using ChatGPT to put the product on a different kind of layout. Like I can say, put it on sand and put a surfboard behind it and then I'll upload the logo and I'll say, put the logo on the surfboard or put the logo on, you get what I'm saying? So if you just play around with that, because you might have a lot of luck, and it's getting better and better every day. I think before you know it, it's not going to change your product at all. It's not going to change the look of the product, and it's going to be way better than what actually the people you're going to be paying, they're going to be probably just using those softwares, you know. Can you talk about Facebook ads and lack of conversion stats to Etsy and Amazon? Yeah, so I know a lot about Facebook ads, but I don't know a lot about Etsy or Amazon. I was on Etsy years ago selling these like rings that go like halfway down your finger, like girls' rings. Dude, I sold like thousands and thousands of them. And then Etsy hit me and said my product wasn't handmade and my store got like banned. But I was just buying them, you know, online. And but in Amazon, I sold our products through the sales channel on Amazon through Shopify. But Facebook ads is so powerful now, and there's so many ways you can do things and get creative. So a lot of times people forget about Google Analytics. So if I was you and I had an Etsy store, this is exactly what I do. And I'm telling this to my buddy Landis too, because he has an Etsy store and I keep telling you could scale it. First thing before I get into Facebook ads is this. Man, look at those waves out there. Before I get into Facebook ads, let's check out those waves out there. No, first thing is I would do this. If you don't have this already, just because you're on Etsy, it does not mean you can't get more attention. Money follows attention. I have a system set up. Every single morning when I wake up, I post on Instagram story, Instagram Reels, Facebook story, Facebook Reels, Pinterest, LinkedIn, X. I'm trying to think of the other ones. Oh, TikTok story. So like every possible placement on every possible platform. We still post on Tumblr. I post in the morning. Then I have two girls in the office do customer service. When they finish their customer service, they just start posting. They post as many organic, regular posts as they can on all those platforms over and over and over all day long. YouTube Shorts we post. So what I'm getting at is, if you don't already for your Etsy brand, stop thinking about a stamps and labels product. Start thinking about it as a brand. You know what I mean? Like, you guys are a brand. Like, think of yourself like you're Papyrus or whatever in the mall. Like, make a brand out of it. Make it Instagram. And put your Etsy link in the profile of every single one of those platforms. You'd be surprised how much. My friend Landis, he's literally building this business selling a pattern that he uses to make clothing. He's selling the pattern the way that his funnel is a YouTube video. He only has one YouTube video, and the YouTube video gets people. They watch the video, and then they watch the video, and then they go through the funnel and they go to Etsy and they buy his thing. He only has one video. I told him, why don't you make 1,000 YouTube channels and upload the same video? You know what I mean? Or upload the same video. People aren't subscribing to your YouTube channel. Why don't you upload the same video like 1,000 times with different search terms? Because the title of your YouTube video is a search term on Google. I was like, why don't you upload the video like 100 times, you know, with different search terms related to the thing you're selling? So I would say that what I'm getting at is organic traffic is a good way just to get started to get more attention. If you're just like trying to think how you could scale it. It's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. People don't think these little things add up, but they do over time. And the backlinks all over the internet help too. Then when it comes to Facebook ads, you don't have any way to take a pixel. Like, I have a pixel. I connect the pixel, click through Shopify, and it's on every page of my store, and I can see what people are doing. But you do have the ability to see what people are doing through your Facebook ads. So what you'll do is this. You're going to go to Google Analytics. You're going to create a Google Analytics account, and you're going to use Google URL Builder.
Google URL Builder. And then what you'll do is you'll create what's called UTMs. So even though I have a pixel, I still use UTMs, but I use them through Triple Whale. You could also use a third-party service like Triple Whale, but I would probably use Google URL Builder through Google Analytics. I think it's completely free. And then what you'll do is you'll find the product, okay, on Etsy. You go to your product on Etsy, then you take the product URL, you copy it, you go to Google Analytics, and you paste it in the URL builder. Now it's going to put a UTM at the end of that URL. Now you're going to go into Facebook and you're going to go through and you're going to click create a campaign. You could, for example, you could do sales, or you could do traffic engagement. Sales conversions might not work as well because you can't tell if someone's purchasing through, because Etsy doesn't allow that data, I don't think, back to Facebook. There might be apps like, for example, Triple Whale. That software, they have a thing called sonar settings. Etsy's not on there, I know it's not, but they, through a conversion API, they feed, it's like an underground tunnel where they feed the information to Facebook so they can interact and they know what's going on. But I don't think Etsy's on there. I don't think they'll allow it, or Amazon. They want to keep all that data on their platform, you know. So what you'll do is you'll go through, you'll create, let's say you click, let's just say you go to Facebook ads, you click sales, you make your first ad, you go through, you collect recommended settings, so it's all recommended. But just uncheck Advantage Plus shopping campaign, because you're not doing a shopping campaign because you're not feeding in any of your products. You're going to use creatives that you made on like ChatGPT, for example. You're going to go into, you're going to make a, hopefully it's not too windy, because that's kind of windy. I don't know if you can hear me, but you're not going to do a single image and a single headline and a single primary text. You're going to click flex ad. You're going to make sure it's a flex ad, okay? And okay, you can hear me. And then what you're going to do is you're going to put like 4 or 5 images that you made on ChatGPT. You could even include your white one, the regular background, if you want, just to see how it does for fun. Then you're going to make like 2 or 3 headlines, 2 or 3 primary texts, and then down at the bottom where it says link, you're gonna put your link, your URL from your Google Analytics account that has your UTM. Do you get what I'm saying? Then you're gonna run that ad, you're gonna run that campaign. And then over time, what's gonna happen is Facebook's gonna try all the combinations, because it's a flex ad. They're gonna try all the different combinations and leave it broad. Don't go into targeting and start putting stamps and people that like pictures and people that like text, literally just leave it broad. Leave gender broad, leave age broad, leave everything broad. At first, you're going to be like, this sucks, it's just losing money. But you can start with a low amount and just let it sit and let it run over time. And then what's going to happen is Facebook's going to go through and they're going to try to test every one of those images with every one of those copies, with every one of those headlines. It's the most efficient way to test out the ads. It's going to try all the different combinations and it's going to see which one works best. And then eventually, it'll start to find people that like the ad and they click on the ad, and eventually it's going to find more people that are like those people. But then this is what I was going to recommend you do. So let's just say you do start to get some traction and you do start to see like, wow, my Etsy sales have increased slightly, or I had more this year or this month than I did last month. But let's say you're like, all right, now I am going to diversify and add more products. So you're like, I'm going to add more products. Well, you already know there's people like your products and they love purchasing from you the first time. So you're like, well, can I get them to buy again? Because Etsy keeps all this third-party data. I don't have any of this data. But you do have the data from Facebook, because you basically created your own funnel. So what you'll do is you'll go into Facebook Ads Manager and you'll go to Audiences. And then you'll click on Create Custom Audience. And then you can make an audience for people that interacted with your ads. So you know that you're talking to people that have already interacted with your ads. And if you want, you can retarget them. So you can create that audience, then you go create a new campaign. And the new campaign could have maybe some of those side dishes. You know what I mean? Like some of the mashed potatoes, and you get what I'm saying. And not not your main thing, because you don't know what they purchased, but you could show like, and you can upload a bunch of, keep in mind, when you do a flex ad, all right, you know how when you're on Facebook or on Instagram, you see different types of ads, different sizes. You see stories that are like 9 by 16. You see feed posts that are like more square. You see on Facebook like a right-hand column, small square images. You sometimes see a carousel. When you do a flex ad, you put all those images in there. What happens is it's making all those variations out of those images. So sometimes people will see a carousel. So for example, if you're making a retargeting ad with your audience of people who interacted with your Facebook ad in the past, like in the past 180 days, then when you make that ad, when you put all those different images in there for a flex ad, you could think of it like you're making a carousel ad, like one someone could swipe. So you could put every single image could be a different item from all the extra stuff you made. Do you get what I'm saying, if that makes any sense? But that's what I would try to do. I would learn Google Analytics, Google URL Builder, and there's no guarantee that this stuff's gonna work. You know, you do it, and then what happens is you don't get the sales and you spend money, and then you end up going, oh, it doesn't work. But I'll be honest, I'm like that with everything. Like I do like TikTok ads, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. But then I have a friend down here that owns, I don't know the guy, but I know the guy. I'm friends with the guy who runs his TikTok shop. It's called Buddy, and dude, they do like freaking hundreds of thousands of dollars a month on TikTok, and that's all they do is TikTok. So it works. Everything works. You just gotta like I know a guy that all he does is get his sales from Pinterest. So it's like everything works. You just got to dedicate yourself and just stick to it. I just happen to stick to and dedicate myself to Facebook ads. But I still feel like Facebook, because Facebook ads had worked for me over the years, but I still think Facebook ads is probably one of the most easiest platforms to run and manage ads on and get sales from. But but you could also spend money on sponsoring your posts on Etsy and Amazon. Have you thought of that? I don't know if you thought of that before, or if you've tried it and it didn't have any success. But like when I was selling on Amazon, I would do the sponsored banner posts. Oh, I've spent tens of thousands on ads on both. Oh, okay, yep, yeah. So I mean, maybe you could scale that and keep trying that. But see, you are where you're getting sales because you've spent that money. I think it's been 28,000 last year total. Yeah, see, but you're getting those sales because you're doing that. Do you see what I'm saying? So it's like, it's one of those things where the marketing, it's like it pays dividends, and it's like you don't know. Sometimes you feel like it's not working. But like I said about the death by 1,000 paper cuts, it's like you have to stay relevant and you keep spending money. You don't think it's working, but like Facebook has a thing called brand lift. You can do tests where you can they can actually look at all your campaigns and determine the brand lift. Like they'll go back and they'll ask people, do you remember this company from seeing this? You get what I'm saying? So, did you have any other questions related to this stuff? Because I didn't want to just blabber on and not be helpful. Man, shout out to everybody watching the channel. Appreciate it. So if you guys are wondering why I'm only answering Noah's questions, let me think for a second. Yeah, take your time. It's because I started a membership program. I call it the mastermind group, but whatever we could call it, you know. I kind of like members only. But basically what it is if you're a member and you comment or you have a question, I can either do a detailed video, like a regular video, trying to answer your question if I can be helpful in any way, or do a live Q&A. I think it's worth it because I'm charging $9.99 a month for anyone that wants to be part of it. And one kid was like, dude, I'll pay you $500 for a 30-minute phone call. And then when I said, well, I do the $9.99 a month thing if you wanted to subscribe, and then I can answer any questions you have and do a live or do whatever, you know, like live Q&A. And then we could also do members only lives where it's all the members and we could all just talk, you know. And he was like, he didn't sign up, and I thought that was interesting because 500, the break even of 500 divided by 10, you know, that's like what, 50 months? So I thought he was willing to spend 500 for, how would you compete with a competitor selling the same exact thing? I have a lot of I do too, dude. I have like 1,000 knockoffs, like 1,000. So there's two ways, you know, people will either try to win on price, but that could be a race to the bottom, or try to win on value. So what I do is I try to increase the value, the perceived value. So I spend a lot of time like running ads that literally say why we're different, or 5 things. I've made ads that say, I have a blog on our website, like 10 things you should know before you buy a blah, blah, blah. Do you get what I'm saying? They all try to win on price. Some I know are only making $1 to $2 per. Yeah, that's a race to the bottom. And I'm in that right now, actually, with like, we have like 3 or 4 competitors. And I know it's like this in every single market, but you think about it, who are the ones we buy from? Like, okay, yeah, there's 1,000 Cokes at the grocery store, but you buy Coca-Cola or you buy Pepsi. It's for what it represents. It's the brand, it's the polar bear, it's all those years. I know it sounds like super stupid, like it sounds like so easy to say that. Yeah, I know he's saying they're Chinese sellers. I know that's the problem we have too. We actually, on Pinterest, I see all the time these Chinese sellers saving our pins, and they're just copying our products, like literally recreating them. But they're not, but here's the thing. Our products are handmade. They're made in a certain way. We source the finest, highest quality this. Do you see what I'm saying? So you need to make sure that you relay all this information. You could actually literally put this stuff in the image of the product. Like, imagine you say to ChatGPT, take this picture of this stamp that I have, okay? Think of the stamp like it's a damn 911 GT3 RS. This is the stamp of stamps. Like, tell ChatGPT, say that to ChatGPT. Like, this is the stamp of stamps. I want you to list me out every single possible positive feature that this stamp could have. My product is so easy to get into. I mean, it's only paper and rubber stamps. No, I get what you're saying, but listen to what I'm saying though, because this sounds dumb, but it can go a long way if you do it on every product and you do it consistently. People are scared of the decisions they have to make. People are scared of their own personal decision-making ability. Me too. When I was buying balloons for the baby shower, I'm like, she said lavender, this says dusty purple. I'm like, crap, dude, I don't know. What is this? Do you know what I mean? And then I'm going through it, I'm looking, and I'm like, which balloon? This looks cheap. This is probably going to show up and look like crap. This doesn't look like the thing. And when I landed on the one that had the image of the balloons, and guess what she had? This is what I'm trying to describe. She had little lines coming off of the balloon, like a line here with a detail, double layered, high tech, blah, 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 blah. Can't find the look you're looking for. You know, like she had all these features of why buy from her? Why buy this balloon over the one on Amazon? And I was like, screw the Amazon one, dude. I'm going to spend the $200 for this huge arch kit from this woman because I'm like, oh, this is legit. I was like, oh, this is the one all the moms are buying. I see it now. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what you need to create, like with your stamps. You need to literally say, don't be fooled by the others. Or don't be, you know, like you could literally like there is a saying though, and I've heard this before. Like, one time someone wrote us and they asked us about a competitor. They said, why is your competitor, or what separates you from this? They do it all the time. It's really frustrating. And there's not a ton that separate us. You know, there's little things, but not a ton. And I was gonna like write something negative about them. And I remembered reading this in a book, that if you say something really negative about another brand, subconsciously the people will like apply it to your brand. It's weird. I read that in a book. I can't remember what the book was. So when they write, badmouth the other company, instead I just raise us up above them with like a lot of like value. So if really, tell ChatGPT, make this, give me a background layout of this stamp and put every single possible feature that, let's discuss what features could this stamp have that others don't. And like triple dyed, doesn't bleed, be made up, but like I've said things provide value that, yes, they're true, but nobody even talks about them. Like, yeah, maybe every single one of those stamps will last for 3 years. Maybe you say lifetime, it sounds so ridiculous, but like lifetime guarantee or anything you can think of that's just perceived value where they're like, I'm gonna go with this one. Or 100% satisfaction guarantee. Try it home for 30 days. Like people do that with clothing, but it's not that they're trying it home for 30 days. It's that there's a 30-day return policy. But it's just the way you word it. Try it home for 30 days. If you're not happy, send it back free of charge. Do you know what I mean? It sounds silly, but if you could just focus on trying to increase your perceived value, that's the only way you're going to combat those people. Because trying to win on price, dude, like, it's a nightmare. You're just going to race to the bottom and you're never going to be able to compete because of the cheap labor, you know? But I know that's not like a real true solution to your problem, because I have the same exact thing. But every day I just try to increase the value by, and you can do it with creatives. It really comes down to creatives. Maybe you can like outperform them by doing like a really good video, like do a detailed video of your product, peeling it off the thing and sticking it on with someone that has really nice hands and nails. Oh, I didn't know. I just saw your comment, but it disappeared. If you just write like a ... it'll pop back up. I think it said you didn't do as well last year because of it. Yeah, hasn't done as well for the past like 3 years because of it. But the other way you can win is money. Spending more money on advertising, getting more eyeballs and getting more attention. But that sets you back too, because you end up cutting into your profit to just try to win and get more attention and be the number one. That's what happened with me. I just went all out with Facebook ads and spending crazy numbers just to beat them, to make them irrelevant. But it works. It works if you really focus on making sure. Oh, the Google Analytics advice helps a ton. I will 100% try that. Okay, cool. Oh, I know I didn't do as well last year because I was trying to compete on price. Yeah, here's the thing. I'll tell you right now. I'm going through this right now. I was competing on price, and I kept upping my discount to get them to try to get the FOMO of them, to get them to buy. And you know what we got the other day? We got a comment on a review. I use different review platforms like on the page, and I have a system in the office where they go through and they publish all the positive reviews and the negative reviews. But the negative ones, they need to write them and they need to correct it. So if like someone wrote something negative, so one of the girls in the office sent me a picture of the review, and the review was, this brand left a bad taste in my mouth. I was hit with nonstop ads and promotions, discounting and devaluing the brand to the point of us. If instead I followed up, she didn't buy like the first time, but instead I should have followed up with not a ton of discounts, but a ton of reasons why to buy from us. The value, what's better, why we're better, what's different about us. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what I would focus on. That's what I'm doing right now. To be dead honest, we've done like 20,000 in profit in the past 7 days. I haven't done that in a while. We used to do crazy numbers, dude, like 100K profit in 7 days. But what I'm getting at is this. I've done the 20K in a while, and we just did this week. You know why? I said to myself, I'm gonna cut, I'm not doing the big discounts. I'm gonna have a lower discount, but I'm just gonna focus on value. And the first couple days it was so slow and there was no sales. But then as I've been doing it more and more and more, I'm noticing people are like forgetting about the old discount. They're like, I guess he's not doing that anymore. And they're focused on, I'm showing really good new items. Like we're coming out with new stuff constantly. And it seems to be working pretty well, but we'll see. But I don't know if any of this was helpful. Hopefully it was. Look at these birds. Looks like Toucan Sam. Like a bird gang. Let me know though if you got any other questions. Extremely helpful. I appreciate it a ton. Yeah, man, thanks a lot. I appreciate you being a member. And we can do these lives more too. We can do member lives where it's just all members. Man, I appreciate it. Well, I guess I'll hop off then, but if you got any other questions anytime, just write it. Let me know. We can do lives or do whatever. But yeah, the stock market's gonna open up. I don't even know what time it is. I gotta get back to the house. Look at that Tony Stark looking house over there. Yeah, the stock market, I set up a buy for some more SCHD and a little VGT. I'm just gonna dollar cost average with the cash I have. Thank you. I will let you know how all this works with the ads. Awesome. Yeah, don't give up on it, you know, and don't over leverage, don't like overdo yourself where you're spending all your money on it. Make sure you just do it slow, you know. As long as you can just maintain your lifestyle and you're not like trying to become Tony Stark. Yeah, to be dead honest, dude, life's more fun if you keep your expenses really low and you focus on these things you're doing like you're doing. And I've been running this business for 9 years, past 3 full-time. Dude, that's awesome, man. Congratulations. That's so freaking awesome. I'm not that far ahead of you doing what I'm doing. So what you're doing is, I get what you're saying, where you have that feeling, that little bit of worry and fear. You haven't said that to me, but that feeling of, I know you're in the same boat I am. We're all in this same boat. You've got the competitors copying you. Ad costs are rising. There's more and more people selling products, so it's more saturated. we're just like a needle in a haystack. And the only way you can set, like Jeff Bezos said at one time, if you're not in growth mode, you're in survival mode. So we got to get in growth mode, dude. Growth mode is, you're going to get, stress is when like your outside world doesn't match your like internal image. Or stress is like when you know there's something you need to do and you're not doing it. When you start putting those images in ChatGPT and you start saying, first thing I would say to ChatGPT is, oh, I have the money and time to scale. It's just which path road to take, and there are 100 paths. That's so true. All right, here's the thing. How many people are sitting and thinking about the fact that posting on social media is free of charge? No one's thinking about this. Everyone's just consuming the garbage on social media. It's completely free to post something and have 1,000 people possibly view it. Do you see what I'm saying? In 5 minutes. So I'd create a system, if you have the time, a system or process, even if you hire a virtual assistant, make tons of creatives. I need to post more, 100%, not the best at it, but I think, no dude, quantity over quality I think is good, because you know what? The craziest posts for me, the dumbest, ugliest images, sometimes you just don't know what's going to hit. There's no rhyme or reason to it. But what I'm saying is, make a system or process where you wake up, you make a couple images on ChatGPT, throw them into Google Drive, find a virtual assistant in the Philippines. You can use like Upwork.com and pay them like $100 a week, and every single day they post twice a day for you. It's a simple thing. It takes them 5 minutes. They don't, you know what I mean? And you might be like, oh, it's not worth the money. But how many sales would you need to cover that payroll for them, But I'm not saying to do that. You could do it yourself. But I do it myself still, but I have a virtual assistant and 2 girls in the office that do it too. So we have 4 people doing it. But we're just posting all the time. I just randomly pop in there. I'll post like a TikTok, I post to Instagram, I post a story. And if you do that, you're gonna add all those extra eyeballs seeing your product. And it's completely free. One day they're probably gonna charge for it. But sorry, I'm out of breath. I've just been talking. I haven't stopped and started breathing. You're like, I don't know if I should be taking advice from this guy. He doesn't even know how to breathe. No, so I would get that going, dude. I would start posting, make a Facebook page for it, and put your Etsy link everywhere you can. And before you know it, I bet you they probably have it now. I bet you could probably feed your Etsy product feed into Facebook, or your Etsy product feed. Oh, well, you don't need to feed it into Google because Etsy already does that for you. Because they I'm dealing with Etsy and Amazon. So like when you type our brand name in, Etsy and Amazon pops up, but we're not on there. So I tried to like do a cease and desist for those keyword for our name, because you can use people's brand name as keywords. It's called demand gen. You can do like other brands for keywords, but you can't put the other brand in the search term itself, like that pops up visible to the public. So they were doing that, and we have it trademarked, and but we couldn't get them to stop it. It's too hard because they're like giants. No, but there's that Tony Stark house. You need to open an Etsy account and then create IP for the name on your account, and then you can report them. Yeah, that's a good idea. I know. I need to do that. That's true. Yeah, that'd be a good idea. Just like you, it's like we're spread thin, and it's like, what do you focus on, So I'm in the same boat. But no, just all those little things over time can add up. And if you do them all and you keep doing them consistently, it's like hitting a nail. If you hit it enough, eventually thing's gonna go in, But you just gotta, I guess like you're saying, what angle do you hit it from? If you hit it from the wrong angle, it's gonna not do anything. So you gotta get focused, that's true. But I think that trying the Facebook ads to run to Etsy could be good. Also, maybe try scaling the ad spend on Etsy and Amazon. Have you tried that? Have you tried to up it and see if it increased the sales at all? Here's the thing you got to remember, and this is what helped me recently. The more money you make from your product, the more you can spend to advertising. That's what these people racing to the bottom forget. The more money you spend, The more money you make, the higher your customer acquisition cost can be. The higher your cart value, the higher the customer acquisition cost. Do you see what I'm saying? So you might be better off literally upping your price slightly, and then you can spend more. You need to open, I was reading the same comment. Oh, I didn't see the comment. Oh, there you go. Oh, I put 500 a day ads on Etsy, only spends 50. Amazon CPC is 180, and my ROAS will sit around 2 to 3 only. Oh, okay. Oh, so I forgot Amazon's cost per click. Oh, I didn't know I could swipe up and see the comments again. I'm so dumb. I keep telling you guys, comment again so I can see the last comment. Okay, so, let me see. Put 500 a day on Etsy, only spends 50. Is there like a cap for anything? Like, are you putting like the amount you're willing to spend until someone buys, or is there like a cost per click or anything like that on Etsy? It's hard because the people on Amazon are making so little profit, and I'm bidding against them on ads. That's true. I know. I have another friend that goes to Barnes & Noble and works on a laptop there, and that's what he does. He runs an Amazon store, and his wife's from like Cambodia, and they like source products and stuff, like baby, like swaddle blankets and stuff. And he was telling me this. I saw him at a park. I was with my kids, and he was all freaking out, telling me like he's a man. What are we gonna do? I don't know what I'm gonna do. He was talking about the tariffs and stuff, and I was like, I don't know. I just try to stay positive, you know, just focus on my own little economy. But on Etsy, it's so basic. All you put is how much you want to spend a day on ads, and that's it. Yeah, my buddy Landis, he's doing Etsy, and he said he spent a little bit, and he said it just kind of blew the money and didn't make anything. So it's only spending. I wonder what would happen if you add. So when you spend on Etsy, do you spend on just a specific product, or do you spend on? Does it take your whole catalog and spend? And right now, how many products do you have, would you say? See, I'm no guru with all this stuff. That's what I want you guys to understand. But that's the thing. Iron sharpens iron. None of us are like a master at everything, so we can help each other. You know, you're helping me, dude, right now. I'm thinking about starting an Etsy. You see what I'm saying? One of my competitors is on Etsy. That's where they get a lot of their sales. I choose the products, and I have 65 products, maybe 6 bestsellers. Oh, what if you chose all 65 just for fun and left it at 500? I wonder what would happen. Because now it's all machine learning. The other products are the side dishes. Yeah. What if you chose all the what if you put all the products? Yeah, try it. You never know. Like, maybe it's because sometimes, like, I've had times in the past where I didn't either give Facebook ads enough money, or I did when I was doing cost. Or actually, it's not a good comparison. But yeah, just try to add as many products as you can and just see what happens. Maybe it'll spend the money because it's going to find other people. Because now a lot of it's machine learning. Also too, what about your titles? Have you ever thought about your titles? I wouldn't go messing around with the best-selling titles because you already got sales and stuff. I don't want to mess up your business. But have you ever thought about titles or keywords or things? I imagine with Etsy that probably plays a pretty big role. Like tags, or have you played around with those? Like maybe, for example, just for fun, you could try ChatGPT and say, is there any way I could optimize these titles to get more searches on? You could also use Google keyword tool, and you could see like what people are searching, because what they're searching on Google could also be really relevant to what they're searching on Etsy. I believe I got that dialed in. Yeah, nice. I'm top of searching all my meat. That's awesome. Oh yeah, I wouldn't mess with it then. Yeah, whenever there's people that work for me, and sometimes they'll say, you should do this, or we should do this because the customer said this, and then I'll go and do it, and it messes everything up, and I'm like, damn it, why did I do that? Like, I should have left it alone. It was fine. Yeah, so sometimes you don't want to play around with things and mess something up. But we'll just keep at it, dude. I found that when I increase ad spend and I do it methodically, and I don't do it drastically, but just in a small increments on Facebook ads, the incremental lift happens. So like, you'll have a lift on all your other things, on your email list, on everything. But with you don't have that setup where you capture the email and things like that. That's why I've always had my own website. you could try for fun building out. The thing is that Etsy and Amazon have a built-in customer. So I think you're better off. I think you're good. Just keep doing what you're doing and not get spread thin where you try to create a Shopify store or something separate and then you're all stressed out. And I would just feed it to Etsy or Amazon. But it could, if you have tons of free time and nothing to do, which I know you don't, you could say, you know what? I'm going to build out a Shopify store. You do have a website. That's awesome. Yeah, because maybe you could build out that and start to run Facebook ads to that. And create like you could get creative, create a stamp club where like you get a certain amount of stamps and then the next month you get more. I don't know if you can create subscriptions on Etsy, but subscription models sometimes can help you have that baseline foundational money coming in that covers your costs. My main competitor is Vistaprint and Zazzle. I know. Vistaprint, dude. Like, for example, like I get business cards that we put with our product like in the package. I just use a business card and I write on it vertically and I put the logo on the back because it's just cheaper. And it's just cheaper to get them from Vistaprint than it is from China. So yeah, it's hard now. It's really hard. But who knows? Maybe these tariffs, maybe they'd actually might help you. I don't know. I don't know if you're buying the product and reselling it or making it. I'm not sure. It's hard to say all that, how that stuff's going to play out. I wouldn't focus so much on that. A lot of people focus on those things and it makes them stand still. Like the Amazon guy I was talking about, he's already told himself in his mind that things are going to be bad. Like things are going to get bad. Everything's going to be bad. Instead, I like to think, oh no, everyone thinks it's going to be bad. Now's the time where you might be able to increase the price of I might be able to increase the price of my product right now and say, it's due to tariffs, because it actually is. Like what I'm getting at is it's like, sometimes there's some type of chaos, but there's opportunity in it. Like every adversity has an equal seed of opportunity. Here, I buy the raw material and then make it. Oh, dude, that's awesome. I have 40,000 worth of equipment in my house. You're like my buddy Landis. That's like what he's always been like that. And works 7 days a week, all customized stuff. Dude, that is awesome. That's what you need to do. Do you know what you need to do? You need to, okay, what does China not have? China doesn't have $40,000 worth of stuff in their house. Guess what China doesn't have? China isn't Noah, who sacrificed his whole life and bet everything on this machine to build a business for his family. Do you see what I'm saying? Like Gary Vee. You ever watch Gary Vee? He says like, watch what I'm doing, not what I'm saying. Like, film your story. Like sometimes I think back when I was like a diesel mechanic and I was building a business with my wife, and I think, gosh, why didn't I document all that? You know how cool it would be to have all that documented? Like, that's what you need to do. You ever seen some of the best? Go to TikTok, okay? Go to TikTok and just scroll through TikTok and type in brand or type search, and you'll find some of the most popular viral TikTok reels is a guy filming like labels coming out of a label printing machine, like shipping labels coming out, and it says like, "Thank you so much for your support, guys. I can't believe it's been 2 years since I quit my job." And people click it. They want to watch it. People love success stories. You should create a YouTube channel. Well, that might be overkill and you're going to be spread thin and tired. Create TikToks and Instagrams and maybe incorporate the actual story of the business. You could even show that stuff on Etsy. I don't know if you show it. Show the equipment. Show your hand cutting the material. It sounds dumb, but it sounds so dumb, but that's what people like. I want the woman cutting the thing. You know what I mean? That's what Etsy feels like to me when I shop on Etsy. I don't want the Chinese seller. Like, I don't want the guy who's just sending some material that came from some factory and I don't know what it's made out of. The dyes aren't organic or safe for, I'm just saying, these are all things I would sit down with ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT your dilemma. Talking to it, because you'll save so much time. Don't even type it, just talking to it and say, here's my dilemma. I have a business. I'm getting undercut by Chinese sellers, but this is what I do have. I have $40,000 worth of equipment. I quit my job 3 years ago, and I don't know how to show value around my product. This is what I do. This is how I make it. These are the materials I use. This is the process I follow to make my this, that, and say, give me every single valuable thing that you think I have that my product has that theirs doesn't. And it'll give you a long laundry list. Then upload an image of the stamp or whatever it is and say, okay, now make me the main product picture for my Etsy with lines coming off the product showing all those detailed things that mine has that theirs don't. Do you see what I'm saying? And then if you keep doing that over and over and over and over and over and over and over, it'll optimize it to where you'll have this killer winning image. And it's almost like everything is just right there. They don't even need to search for it. They're on Etsy and they're looking through and they're like, oh wow, look at this one. You know, it sounds dumb, but I like the quote, everyone thinks you're crazy till you're successful, then you're a genius. It's just like, if you just keep doing something over and over and over, you don't know what's going to hit. You know, like if you punch a wall long enough, a hole, it's going to make a hole. You just got to figure out, are you going to do it on TikTok? Are you going to do it on, or do it on all of them, you know? So I would just try to do all those things. You know how it is. See, I love talking to people like you because you're immersed in it and you're like I am. Once you're immersed in it and your back's against the wall, we have no plan B. You know what I mean? And what I like to think about is all the people telling you, oh, I told you so. He never was going to succeed. I knew it was going to fail. It's not going to fail. You got to think of it differently. You need to think of it as, dude, I'm you. You're not, you think you're saturated with all these other sellers. You're not, because you have this unique thing, you know? Yeah, it's your whole life. This is all I think about. Exactly. I'm the same way. That's all I think about. So you could tell the story, you know, and you don't have to, if you're nervous, you don't want to put yourself on the camera, or you like don't think aesthetically. Like sometimes I think that about myself. I'm like, I'm not putting myself with the brand. They're not going to buy our products once they see me in pajamas driving around. You don't have to, but you could say, for example, you can show the equipment, you could tell the story, you could show behind the scenes, you know, like you could figure out a way to show it. And this is the other thing people forget. Different platforms have different aesthetics. Like don't show myself wearing sweatpants driving a 911 with our girls products on Instagram. But maybe on TikTok, maybe I have a funny video where I have our product like spilling out like all over me in the car or something. Do you see what I'm saying? Every platform has its own kind of vibe. So you could like lean into that. Maybe on TikTok or something, you show your behind the scenes. How's it going to hurt you if you don't even have it now? You know what I mean? It's only going to help you. I post a TikTok, for example. I'll post one in the morning. We have like 60-some thousand followers on TikTok. We have over 100,000 on Instagram. But like, it's not that many though compared to these brands. But what I'm saying is, I post a TikTok and we just organically, we get like 2,000 views sometimes. If I boost it, sometimes I'll get 15. Sometimes one will take off and get 30. So you just don't know. Those are all people that might be into your product. If it creates 1 or 2 sales, it's worth it. It's completely free. Yeah, if your demographic's women, yeah, TikTok, dude, anything. YouTube Shorts is undervalued attention. Like I'll post a YouTube Short sometimes with our brand and it'll get 10,000 views organically. And sometimes it'll get 900. You just don't know, but those are 10,000 free views. I don't know if the people are all in the US or where it's showing it, but I'm telling you, those are free views. We're going to look back one day and go, oh my gosh. Like think about how they're charging $15 to be verified on these accounts. Before you know it, there'll be a day where they're like, it's $9.99 to have Instagram. You never know. And people will pay it. People will pay it. So I would just go on there and I would just start posting. Yeah, that's true, Kyle. Kyle, we're TikTok, Instagram. Yeah, Pinterest. Oh, dude, Pinterest. You could blow it up with Pinterest. Because now people forget with Pinterest. You can listen with Pinterest, okay? If you don't have Pinterest, this is what you need to do. I do this every morning. Post your pin, okay? Then click on create a board for it, like create a board for stamps. Pins are like search terms. They have a thing called Taste Graph. Taste Graph AI is basically Pinterest is like a Google search term for images. So put whatever search term you can think of related to the stamp. But then what's so cool about Pinterest pins now is you can tag topics. So you can tag like organic stamps, handmade stamps. You know, like you can tag these things as topics, and then you can put hashtags too, and you can leave a description, and you can put the link to Etsy. So you might be able to blow the business up by literally just posting, like sitting down and scheduling like 50 Pinterest posts. Like just literally Pinterest. People are on there just scrolling. People love paper and like those types of things, pastel colors, all that kind of stuff. You know, like you could also find, like, for example, maybe you can find niches. Like maybe you can find a niche like somebody that goes to LSU, and you could do like all purple and gold stamps related to find niches, find like sororities and find their colors. You might not, certain things you can't do because of like IP stuff, like private or licensing, like sports teams and things. But you can tap into it. Like sometimes we tap into it, but we don't put it. Like I'll put like, football keychain, but I won't put, or I'll put like stadium keychain, and then it has the colors of like the Buffalo Bills or something, but it's not actually like saying it. Maybe you could tap into like sit down and think like what niche, what people love. Like I try to define my customer in my mind sometimes. Like who is my customer? Like what's this lady? They say like where's their watering hole? Where are they hanging out? Like who are they? Like where are they hanging out? Where's your customer hanging out? Like hypothetically, where are they? And you could figure out a way to like tap into that. Like maybe you're like, oh, the people who buy my thing are like people that love arts and crafts. Or maybe like, oh, the people that are buying this certain type of paper, I think they have young kids and they're doing projects. And you could tap into things like find out like, oh, it's almost Easter, and you do like a whole Easter series. Or I don't know how hard it is to adjust and create custom things, but hopefully some information helps you. I don't think it's only the information. It's just about getting pumped up, dude, and getting excited and getting in growth mode and not being in survival mode. I think that's the game. But all right, well, I'll hop off because I don't want to waste too much of your guys' time. But I appreciate everybody watching. Subscribe to the channel. Shout out to Noah. Appreciate the comment and question and for being a member. Hopefully something helped. Dude, let's freaking go. Yeah, post on social and then share it on, you can share it on. I used to always be scared like, oh, people are going to copy. The reason I don't share our brand is because I'm trying to get our monthly membership up, and then I'm trying to sell the business. And I'm scared if I've shared so much proprietary stuff like, oh, this is what we do to get influencers. This is what we do that if I try to sell it, and then the buyer, some of these buyers, dude, they're like big Indian groups, like from India. And, they would be like, oh, we don't want this. He's disclosed all this proprietary information. So that's why I don't talk about our brand. But for some, like, it's very hard for someone to copy a brand. It's not, people think like they can just copy your product. It's not as easy as they think. A lot of it, when it comes to branding, it's like the emotion, and people affiliate with the brand and the logo. So work on building brand too, because that can go a long way. If you work on building brand. Oh, I was going to turn, but I can't turn there. But man, just, you got this, dude. Just freaking keep doing it. You're already doing it. But I appreciate everybody watching. I will see you guys on the next video. Hello? See you, man. Yeah, I was waiting for you to comment by before I hopped off, but I appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching. You guys are awesome. Subscribe to the channel. Brand new day. Hopefully the stock market doesn't tank. I'll see you.